Hello and welcome to our Yoga Hero Teachers podcast. This podcast has been designed to help yoga teachers teach with passion, avoid burnout, and earn a fair living. What will people think? What if people hate it? What if they think I'm full of myself? What if they know more than I do? Does any of this sound familiar? In 2020, we held our first Shatter Imposter Syndrome challenge, which, since then, hundreds of yoga teachers have gone on to complete. Confidence in the yoga teaching world seems to be something that so many of us struggle with. This podcast episode is about allowing yourself to think, to daydream, to imagine what you would teach and how you would teach if you had absolutely no fear. If you had absolutely no reservations about what others would think or about your own ability. In our course, The Clear and Confident Yoga Teacher, we go even deeper than this, naming fears and embracing them, and learning how to put them to one side, working towards the goal of teaching yoga with unshakable self-belief. But more on that later. If you've been held back by self-doubt, you really aren't alone. So here's some tips to put self-doubt, reservations, concerns, and anxieties to one side to help you be the yoga teacher you've dreamed of being. Define the fear. This is absolutely nowhere near as easy as it sounds. Sorry. You'll need time, headspace, self-acceptance, and a bit more time, probably. But it really is so worth investigating. What is the actual fear that's holding you back? Is it what others might think? If so, if you investigate that a bit more, is there one person or a group of people who come to mind when you visualize teaching something new or teaching a particular subject or teaching in a particular way? If so, keep investigating. Why are you bothered what they think? Where does that come from? And now that you've looked it straight in the eye, has it lost its power? Can you put that fear to one side? Maybe your fear is a fear of failure, or a fear of being laughed at, or a fear of being found out that you don't know as much as you think you do or you say you do. Breathe, but keep on investigating. Define what your fears are really, and when you've defined them, then determine, are they valid? Remember to keep your eyes peeled for our course, The Clear and Confident Yoga Teacher, which takes this process and breaks it right down to define, accept, and even embrace your fears. Remember that fear is physiological. Our bodies can't distinguish between an imagined fear and a real life one that's present right in front of you. Our nervous system can't distinguish between being laughed at the front of a yoga class and a lion walking into your room. Be empathetic towards yourself as you investigate this whole process. While you imagine and investigate your fears, notice how your body reacts and use your yoga know-how to keep this reaction to a minimum. Use your deep breaths, closed eyes, lying down, slow movement. All of it will allow you to investigate and define your fear. Feel the impact in your body. Be respectful of that, but progress anyway. Have confidence in your ability and your offering. I know. So much easier said than done. Confidence doesn't just come out of nowhere. Unfortunately, it doesn't just drop out of the sky and into your lap after a certain period of time. To have unshakable confidence in your ability and your offering, you need to be able to stand by what you do. It won't be for everyone, and that's okay. In last week's episode, Do I Need a Yoga Brand?, we talked about how a yoga brand is an extension of your yoga teaching self. In order to create this, you need a rock solid understanding of who you are and who you teach. It sounds so obvious, doesn't it? But if somebody stopped you right now and said, "Tell me about your yoga classes. What are they like and who are they for?" Could you answer them with complete clarity? The ability to answer them clearly and with confidence absolutely boils down to you knowing who you are and who you want to teach. If you need help with this, well, look no further. Put your name down for our masterclass, How to Create Your Yoga Brand, because that is exactly what we'll be working through together. The link to sign up is in the show notes and it is completely free. Daydream. Imagine. Visualize. Imagine that money was no object. You have more than enough to live on and you can teach yoga without any financial pressure. And imagine that you have a bottomless pit of confidence. Not arrogance. You still really, really care about the quality of your teaching, but you're not held back. You don't feel shy. You don't feel nervous. You don't feel anxious. You feel able. What would you teach? Would you teach classes with an anatomical focus without worrying you were getting something wrong? Would you introduce more philosophy without worrying about messing up the Sanskrit? Would you bring in more about accessing empowerment and intuition without fearing that you sound too woo-woo? Would you share how much learning about the chakras has changed your life? Would you? What? What would you teach? And how would you teach it? Would you sing? Would you use beautiful metaphors? Would you teach an entire class watching your yogis move, responding to their movements and not demoing a single pose? Would you give out gifts? Would you adjust more? Would you talk to someone you get a feeling they just really need to speak to someone today? If you had no reservations at all, how would you teach yoga? Over the next few days, come back to this as often as you can. Maybe go for a walk or sit in meditation or talk to a yoga teacher friend or a loved one, but keep daydreaming, visualizing and imagining how you teach yoga if you weren't afraid. So that's it, lovely teachers. Remember, when you find yourself holding back from an opportunity or an idea because of fear, remember, investigate and define the fear. Notice the impact it has on you and be respectful of that and progress anyway. All the while defining who you are and who you want to teach. And don't forget, keep your eyes peeled for the Clear and Confident Yoga Teacher course. The doors open soon. If you have a couple of minutes free, we'd be so grateful if you could rate and review this podcast just wherever you're listening to it. And if you can share it with a fellow yoga teacher too, well, that would just be amazing. As a reminder, our show notes are available for you at yogahero.co.uk/podcast 26. We'd love to know how you're finding these episodes and if they've been helpful. Do let us know by emailing hello@yogahero.co.uk or sending a DM to Yoga Hero Teachers on Instagram. And as always, happy teaching.